Hello, and welcome to the week of May 4th. So, this is a big week because we are switching away from the storytelling stuff and into your last book of the year. It is called Speak. It's kind of sad, but also good. And the purpose of this week is to start exploring Speak through some introductory stuff. So, here we are. Screencast is this. So basically what you're doing this week, it is a two-part thing. One is an anticipation guide, which you've done before with me. And then the second thing is hearing a poem directly from the author that gives you an idea of what this book is about. And the last thing, in response to that poem and in response to what you just did in the anticipation guide, you will be writing a brief prediction of what you think this book will be about. So let's take a look at what I mean by all of these things. First, we have the anticipation guide that does not look like that. It looks more like, this. You've seen this before. This is 10 statements that are really strong, and you have to decide where you stand on that issue. So you read the statement, and then you put if you agree, disagree, or in the middle. And you're going to do that. It's pretty fast. You can do that for 10 and go all the way down. And the last thing you're going to do is pick one of those 10 that hit you the hardest or meant the most to you or made you think the most. And you're going to write a sentence or two that describes why that question jumped out at you. And I'll be collecting your emails, so I'll know who did it. And that counts as 1 grade for this week. The second thing we're doing is going right to the website of the author herself. The author's name is Laurie Halse Anderson, and she wrote a poem basically from all of the emails she got about this book because it became very popular and very famous. And she wrote this poem that is called Listen. So I've linked it down in the slideshow. It will take you to this. You can read it on your own, but I also recommend once you're at the website clicking on this where it says she reads the poem, because it's important to hear from the author herself. So that will take you to a YouTube video. Probably not as good as my YouTube videos, but it's okay. We can still watch it. And it's her reading the poem. So know what she chooses to enunciate, how she explains it in the beginning, and how she ties it up. And that will give you some more things that you should know about this book before you jump into reading it. So that's the second thing. And the last thing, the final link in the slideshow says your journal entries. I will explain this further in a moment, but this is what your document, the last one linked in the slideshow, looks like. So you've seen this part before. Basically, similar to Pixar, you're making one giant Google Doc that you're going to add to every week. So this is the directions on how you make a copy. Just as a refresher, you're going to go to File. You're going to go to Make a Copy. Oh my god. Do I not get to make a copy? Okay, great. You're going to go to Make a Copy, and then you're going to title it with your last name, and in this case, it's called Journal Entries. And there you go. And then once you've titled it, I don't really want to actually make this. Once you've titled it, you go to Share, and you share it with me. And then, as you can see below, this is the spot where you're going to be filling in your journal entry every week. And great news, you only have 6 of these journal entries. And great news, this is a very easy grade to get because I will be providing it every week. So, the first one ever is in answer to all the stuff I just showed you. So, in answer to the anticipation guide, those big statements, and in answer to that poem that she read, you will now complete journal entry number 1, which asks, what do you think this book will be about? And the directions say, after looking at the thing and looking at the author's poem, write a 3-sentence response that predicts what this book will be about. By the end, you will see if you are right. But this is your way of making a prediction about, based off all this introductory stuff that you just did, what do you think you're about to jump into as a book? And you write it here. So that's what you're doing for this week, but I also want to outline how you're ending the year. So I've noticed that the further we go, the more some of you get confused and the less interested you are in doing the assignments. But great news, starting today, Monday, I'm going to start calling your parents again for some of you. So this is the thing you need to get on board with and do. Every week you are going to listen to the book and do the journal entry and get a grade. And if you don't, you get an incomplete for the year and you get to repeat 9B for the second semester. So scary, but here's how it's going to look. This week, the 4th, already explained all the things you're doing. Next week is when we get into the book itself. And the way we're going to look at the book itself is by listening to the audiobook version, which is this, which I will have linked in the video for next week. And basically the book is read to you. And generally, you are going to have 1 or 2 of these videos to listen to. You should just go outside, go on a walk, and listen to this story. And if you want to also watch it, it has the text right there. So you can listen to her read, and then you can also read along if you want. But mostly I just listen. I find the audiobook really nice. So the speed that you're going at. Next week we're going to read chapter 1 and do a journal entry. Week after that, chapter 2, journal entry. Week after that, chapter 3, journal entry. Then, getting into June, chapter 4, part 1, journal entry. Chapter 4, part 2, journal entry. 6 total. And the last day, you're going to do a final project on Speak. It'll probably be pretty simple, just like the other project we did for the Odyssey and the speaking, the whole personal narrative thing. So that's your plan for the rest of the year. And Speak will get us all the way into June. So, I think I've covered everything you need to know. Welcome to your Speak unit. Get excited for all this introductory stuff. And I look forward to hearing from you.